I said, fine, I will. I'll go live. I can do that. It is, after all, 6 p.m. It is, after all, 6 p.m. PST. In that PST, in that... What does PST stand for? I don't even know. What is it? Pacific Super Time? I don't know. I'm just a humble beat gardener, you know? I'm just a humble wave lord, you know? Just a humble lord of wave. Lord of the wave. One of those guys. That's all I am. What do I know? What do I know? I'll tell you one thing. It's a dreamy day. It's just a dreamy day. It just really is a dreamy day, and for that reason, this stream is titled The Dreamy Dreamwave. Is that something? Can I put a cloud emoji? I don't know. What is it? Dreamy Dreamwave time? Yeah, it is. It's Dreamy Dreamwave time. Hey, you guys. It's Dreamy Dreamwave time. Are you ready for Dreamy Dreamwave time? With your friend, Dreamy Don. Dreamy the Don.
I was just thinking that Jocko's kind of... A lot of people can be real father figures for me. I have such a desperation for that energy and that connection in my...
Smash that like.
That I will latch on to people or put them in a place where...
Ooh.
Oh, I gotta tell you this.
Yeah, you do.
So, I saw my dad in a dream.
Woo!
When I was in Hawaii. Or in Maui.
Hey.
Sorry. When I was in
Maui.
And it was really crazy because I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. You know, when I had an adult vision. And I saw him. You know, when I saw him, and it was crazy. We were at it was kind of confusing. It was a dream, you know. And Robert De Niro was there, and Matthew McConaughey was there. And we were in Maui. My dad was in one room eating at a table, and Matthew McConaughey and Robert De Niro were in another room. And my dad wanted to come and meet Matthew McConaughey, but he didn't want to meet Robert De Niro. And so I was trying to mediate between the two of them. And finally, my dad and Matthew McConaughey got to meet each other, which doesn't mean anything, but it was just interesting to see my father. I hadn't seen him. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. You know, I'd seen him in pictures, and I'd seen him in just, you know, imagination what he looked like or something, but I hadn't seen him really. And it made me think that my dad lives in Hawaii or something, you know, I was like, oh, is this where he's been? And it made me think, well, of course this is where he's been. This is where I would be. It is stunning. But yeah, I got to see my dad, man. I got to see him. It was I just didn't know. I didn't know that he's been in Hawaii or been in, you know, that he's been there. And he was healthy.
He was healthy!
He was healthier looking than I'd ever seen him in my whole life.
Yeah.
That's what's wild.
Vitamin D, baby.
He'd been eating. His hair was darker. And he was laughing, man. He was laughing. He was kind of being cool, trying to a little bit play it cool or be cool, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he lives in that world, in the subconscious or in dream world. So I have no idea what his life is like there. He may drive a Corvette. I don't know. I didn't see, the parking lot.
Yeah.
I just saw just him. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. I saw my dad in a dream.
I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Nah. even in a vision. Oh, 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 oh,
And man, right when I got up, I've just been on this kick where I've just been trying to stay more motivated and like when it's time to get up, it's time to get up. And I need to do things and I want to have more experiences in my life. You know, recently I've just been realizing like I do a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of the same things. Woo. And I'm not really having a lot of like, new experiences. And so I want to have a little bit more of that.
A little bit more of that.
Man, I wish I'd have just laid back down and tried to go right back and see him. You know, wherever he was. But it's just so funny. I mean, I've slept in, you know, in the past 20 years, I've probably fallen asleep in, you know, 42 states and 15 or 20 or 30, you know, I don't know.
Countries.
And not once did I see my father. And then, bam, I'm in Maui and there he is.
Maui and there he is. In Maui and there he is. What up, camera 2? Camera 2 is functioning. I love it when camera 2 functions, you know? What up, camera 2? Get this sweaty head. Woo! It's hot in here, baby. It's hot. It's hot in here. Hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome, guys. Come on in here. Come on through. It's the Church of Meaning. Oh, what a beautiful feeling. Raise that hand to the ceiling and say, yeah, baby, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Smash that like. Hey, where's my delay? Hallelujah. Smash that like. Hey, everybody, smash that like. YouTube needs to know that, you know, that we're live, and they only let people in when you smash the like. That's how it goes. That's the score. That's the vibes. How's everybody feeling? Huh? How's everybody feeling out there? It's a dreamy day. Hercules like goes, Dad, it's gloomy outside. It's my favorite weather. He's spoiled, you know? Like, all we had was gloomy weather when I was a kid, and I was sick of it. I wanted sunshine, you know? I was raised in Mordor. You know, Mordor. Like, somewhere between Hobbitshire and Mordor. That's basically, like, where I was in Wales. That's what it looks like. You look in what you, like, wonder. I was in a valley, you know? I was in a valley. It was very green and nice. But, like, you're surrounded by slate mountains, you know? So it's like, over there is Mordor. And then over there, it's like the Shire, you know? And it was very dreamy. It was very dreamy. But it was a very dreamy existence, you know? It was a very, it was very surreal, I guess. You know, everything just felt like poetry. But I just wanted sunshine and adventure, you know? I wanted action. It was sleepy there. You know, when I had a girlfriend, when I was like, I had my, like, you know, I don't know, I had my first girlfriend when I was 5. But, like, you know, when you had those early, like, first girlfriends where, like, you know, you think if you don't see each other, you'll die. You know those ones? Remember them ones? Remember that? And you're like, damn, if we don't see each other, we'll die. We'll actually die. Shit. You know, and we were separated by, I would say, a good 10 miles. You know, and we didn't have a phone in the house then. You know, I used to have to walk half an hour to the nearest phone box. That's how long it would take to walk. It would take half an hour to walk to that phone box. And usually it'd be raining or it'd be blowing wind. It'd be blowing a real epic gale, you know. We were right by the sea. And, like, sometimes you'd be walking at an angle, you know. Either that way or that way, depending which way the wind was catching you. You know, you'd be, like, leaning into that wind. And if you were to, you know, if your puffer jacket came undone, the wind would fill the puffer jacket and lift you off the ground. Even when we got a phone in the house, you know, we got a phone when I was maybe 14, I think. But I'd still walk to that red phone box half an hour away because my dad would sneakily pick up the other phone downstairs and listen in. And he would listen for 5 minutes to us being like, I would die without you, my beautiful little vib. And then he would just start cackling. He'd start cackling at me in Brummie. I don't know if you ever... Brummie is a place, it's a part of... It's not Brummie, he's West Bromwich. He's a black country guy, but it's like that Midland laugh. It's a different kind of laugh. It's like Brummie people speak like, alright, mate, what I'm talking about. And black country people are even more so. It's like, alright, what I'm looking at, you bastard. How's you think you am? Type thing. That's how they talk. And they laugh like that. Ow, ha, 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 ha. Type thing. You know what I mean? That'd be my dad. Lolling at me. It's like, how dare you? You know, but those are some dreamy days. Dreamy days. And like Hercules, so Hercules, like, he never had that. You know, he wasn't, he lived in Wales for like a year. 2 years or something, a year and a half, 2 years. You know, he was born in Hackney on the floor in our flat, which was the righteous thing. You know, he wasn't born in a hospital, you know, like a regular noob. Nah, he was born on the floor in our flat in Hackney above a shop. Righteous bars. But yeah, like, you know, he spent like a year and a half in Wales with hanging out with his Nine and Tide. That's Welsh for grandpa and grandma. Nine is grandma, Tide is grandpa. It's Tide's birthday today. He's 83. Shouts out to Tide. Happy birthday, or Penblwydd Hapus. That's what they say in Wales. They say Penblwydd Hapus. Penblwydd Hapus I chdi. Or if you're in South Wales, they say T. North Wales, they say chdi, which is like harsher, right? It's like, you gotta get right back up in the throat. You gotta really like start to like log up something about you, like you're about to like, you know, like be disrespectful to a priest, you know. That's how you do that. You say chdi. And in South Wales, they say tea, because it's just nicer in South Wales. I was in the north. South Wales is very sing-songy. They speak like this. How are you? How are you today? Isn't it a lovely day? Yes, it is. In North Wales, they fucking talk like this. Oh, isn't it a lovely day? Yeah, it's a lovely day. Even when they're being really positive about something, they sound like they're about to headbutt you. You know, that's how it goes. Hey, what's up, everybody? Anyway, yeah, so Hercules, like, he likes the gloomy, you know? I always wanted the sunshine. I loved that. But Hercules, because he's had so much sunshine, he spent most of his life in Los Angeles. He gets excited when it's gloomy. He loves it when it rains, you know? He gets so gassed when it rains, he runs outside and dances. Yeah. Hey, how's everyone doing? How is everybody today? You know? How is this beautiful community, this beautiful family? How are you doing, you beautiful MEANINGWAVE family? You lovely creatures, you. Who's in the building? Who was first? Who gets that first like? Hey, it was Sheila with 2 L's. Sheila with 2 L's and a Ferrera. Sheila Ferreira. She gets that first award because that's the first name I saw in the chat. What up, Sheila? First! Or should I say first?
Ooh. Shouts out to everyone. Ooh.
I mean by back my regular voice. Shouts out to everyone listening on the replay. Love you guys. Shouts out to everyone locked in. YouTube hero Alex is in the building. He's advising you to smash that like and share that link. He's right, you know. It looks like there's 62 people in here currently. People are still coming in. And a good, 14 of you have not yet smashed that like. How could you? What are you doing to us? It's a strict like economy. The only way that YouTube sends out notifications is if you smash like. I don't know why. Just notify the shit out of that smasheroonie. What up, BJB? Says I missed this afternoon, so thank the MEANINGWAVE community for gathering tonight too. Yeah, you know we can gather twice a day. It's nice. 1 p.m. PST every day we upload a mix, and you can hang out in the chat while that's premiering on the YouTube. And then at 6 p.m. PST we regulate these vibes in a live fashion. I was not very involved today at 1 p.m. PST because I was having emergency. I was having an emergency. I got this new distributor. A distributor is someone who takes your music and puts it in stores and things, right? And got the new Lo-Fi beats. And it's supposed to be out this Friday. And then there was some shenanigans with like the language in it was set to English. And because it's instrumental, that means it had to all be redone. So did that. And then they hit me another problem today. They're basically like all of the song titles they're saying I can't have. So what? What do you mean? It's because like the songs are all called things like Beatles type beat, or Glory and Wonder and Joy and Sadness type beat, or My Son Just Kicked Me in the Nuts type beat, right? They're all called shit like that. And apparently that's against some regulation, like calling it, that's like some kind of illegal practice where you're trying to like hijack search terms or something. It's like it's a concept album. Like, it's all called something type beat, which describes the type of beat it is. What is wrong with that? Plus, there's thousands of things called that on Spotify. Why is it one rule for thee and the other for me? God damn. They're like, you can't call that one Stan Lee type beat. It's like, why not? It sounds like Stan Lee. They're like, that's a guy's name. Like, yeah, it's a guy's name. How many songs are named after people? Like, half of them. Half of them at least. How am I going to have such a goody two-shoes distributor now? God damn. You know? So we'll see what happens. I've been like riding their asses all day, but they're over in the UK now, so they're asleep. So I couldn't carry on riding their asses that much. It's not as much as I wanted to, you know? I wanted to be riding those asses all day long, you know what I mean? Like it was the Grand National. God damn it. Yeah, this is what you're going to deal with when you're a business owner, you know? If you just sign your ass a record contract, you ain't got to worry about that sort of thing. You have people worry about it for your ass, you know? And but then, you know, you have to worry about other things like your immortal soul. You know, you got to worry about your immortal soul, brother, sister. That's what you have to worry about. I ain't worried about my immortal soul. I'm regulating that guy. You know, I'm building that one kind act at a time. One smile at a time. Every time I don't call someone a like, you know, fucko to their face when they should be called fucko to their face. Oh, no, I swore again. Yeah, I will. Regulators! Hey, shouts out to mum and dad and the kids in the back of the car listening to this on the replay, and the kids are just like, ha 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 ha. Akira The Don just swore. We're like, nah, I didn't. You just misheard that with your rude little mind. Hercules like got in a bit of trouble today. He was playing Minecraft and he swore. Well, it wasn't just him and his friend, they both swore. But they got this new friend they're playing with who's a girl, you know. And she's a good girl. You know, and her mum overheard them talking and she overheard a swear. She rang up like, yo. Yo. That love triangle is getting crazy. It's getting crazy, that love triangle. Oh my goodness, the Minecraft love triangle. Two best friends, and then they bring the girl into the dynamic, and they're both like one of them will like, what was it? I think it was Hercules ran off with her and like built a whole world with her, while like the best friend in Canada was asleep or something, you know. And the best friend comes in, and they've built a whole world together, and he's mad jealous. You know what I mean? He destroyed their pool or something. Epic Minecraft love triangle. Zulu. Captain Virgil says, no swearing in my Christian Minecraft server. Exactly. Juan Monterey, so correctly. Oh, and it's so right. It's so right. He says, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. I was just getting my coffee, and then I look at my phone, which is always a stupid thing to do. It's never going to be anything good. And I see this message saying, you can't call your songs all the things you've called them, which means the album might not come out on Friday. I was like, I was like, run back to the house, you know, so I could deal with it. You can't deal with those sort of conversations on a phone. It's just too... But like all the way back, I just had that song looping in my head. I was just... just that. Looping over and over, just regulating the mindset. You know what I mean? I would be causing so many people so many injuries were it not for the regulatory mindset. Yeah. Biological Bootloader says Stan Lee had a company entitled Purveyor of Wonder. No way. That's mine. Is that real? That's epic. Violet says, I'm sorry, Akira. Why? What have you done? What did you do? Alien says, call it Stanley type beat. Hey. I was thinking of calling it When Comics Were Good and Not Propaganda Trash. When comics were fun, escapist, aspirational, joy and wonder, not evil, anti-human, soul-destroying propaganda created by morons who've never had a real fight in their lives, unless you consider Twitter fighting, which I do not because I'm not a moron! Ooh. One Monster says graphic novel music. I had a mixtape once called Superhero Music. That was pretty good. So superhero music, all you do is ride around and fight crime to it. Might have to dig that up one of these days. Prince, what up? Prince Jabrikas XV. Thank you for the super chat. Says, would you consider doing a Slav hard bass track or set? Short answer.
Yes.
Of course. I've been thinking about that. It's on a list. I've been thinking about that. You know, you can see if you look at my beautiful features. Where's camera 2? Hey, camera 2. See camera 2, right? If you look at the face, can you see the Slavic features? Can you see the horns? See that there? See the side? You see the horns? You can't. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can't see my beautiful face. But just imagine like a beautiful Slavic face with like protruding forehead horn type. What do you call them? Temples or something? I know, man. I got him off my grandpa. He was called Tadeusz. You know, he was called Tadeusz. Tadeusz Narkiewicz. Koch Narkiewicz, in fact. They had to cut off the Koch when they emigrated into the UK because it didn't fit. The whole name did not fit on the paperwork. You know, they couldn't fit the whole name on there. So they had to remove the KOTCZ, I think it was. So he used to get down, you know. Ooh. He used to drive a tank. You know? He was a tank driving fellow. They stole him from his school, the Russians did. They put him and his homies. They went to their school when he was a kid, and they just loaded him all onto a wagon and took him off to one of those camps. He never saw his family again. You know? Somehow he ended up in the Midlands, in West Bromwich. In West Bromwich, somehow, this noble Pole ended up in West Bromwich. All right, mate. He ended up in West Bromwich, and he married a lady called Susan. Susan, who was... called Susan, and I used to think she was from Luxembourg, but apparently she wasn't. Anyway, she was an interesting lady. She was very exotic, and yeah, they got married, and you know, had 4 kids, and one of those 4 kids was my father, and he's called Stefan. You know, and he's a fine man, fine man. They were raised in a slum. You know, he used to love music. He loved David Bowie and all that type of thing. He used to carry a record around under his armpit to the pub. Apparently, that's what they used to do, right? To stunt back in the day. To show off, if you were like a 16-year-old lad in Birmingham or the surrounding area, right, in the mid to late 70s, what you would do is you'd walk in the pub and you'd have an LP under your arm. You'd be like showing off, you know what I mean? And that would show how cool you were. I don't know what they do these days. What is it, AirPods or something? You know? Back then, though, it'd be the new David Bowie LP. LP stands for long player, in case you didn't know. And you'd go in the pub and you'd be like, all right, mate, what you got there? And you'd be like, I've got the new David Bowie LP. And your mate would be like, oh, that's pretty great, that is. What? Oh, well. And maybe they've got the Sham 69 or the Sugar Shawadi Waddy or some shit like that, you know. You know, and you go chat up a lady. You'd be like, do you want to come back to my house and listen to my LP? And she might say, oh, it's lovely, yes. Unless she didn't like David Bowie. And she'd be like, no, I don't like David Bowie. And then you'd be stuffed, wouldn't you? How are you going to style out that one? You'd be like, oh, yeah, neither do I. I just got it because I needed something to... Oh, shit. It wouldn't work. It was, you know, it was a simpler time, but it was more difficult in ways. Ooh! Yeah. Great Flower, what's cracking? It says, I feel greatly enriched by this history. Yeah, you should. Ooh! John Hannibal Smith says, to show off in Elizabethan times, you sat on stage during a performance and ate an orange, which was a rare fruit at the time. Yeah, right, like, you know the way these days, like, you go to a rap show and certain mandem will, like, get up on the stage just because they kind of know someone involved or something, and they'll just kind of ruin the atmosphere by just standing there. You ever see that at a rap show? That always really annoys me. A bunch of dudes just standing there, and you got the main rapper, and he's at the front, and he's giving it all the energy. But if the dudes behind him had just stood around... They just reduced the entirety of the energy of his performance down to theirs. I remember I saw The Game once. You know, The Game. He was a pioneer in a lot of ways. People weren't called things like the table or whatever back then. You know, The Weekend, Party Next Door. People had proper names like George. You know, or Donald, or you know, what's the proper name? David Bowie. You know, they had proper names. 50 Cent. There's a name. Then The Game comes along, and he just opened up a whole new avenue of potential names. But I saw him, right? And I saw him live, and he was fucking hammered. Sorry, did it again. He was really drunk. He was like 2 hours late for his performance, and he comes up on stage, and just all these dudes roll up with him, and the venue was like half full, so it felt like there was more people on stage than in the audience. And he was just like a load of dudes, and their trousers, they kept pulling their trousers further down, and like they'd be like trying to like rest half of like their junk on the top at the front of the trouser for some reason, and it was just all very distracting. You know, it just took away from the performance, I had to say. You know, and he was doing meet and greets afterwards and charging $200 to do a meet and greet. You know, and they had this handmade sign that someone had knocked up and written, and they'd written meet and greets, but they'd spelt meat wrong. Facts. Yeah. Ooh. Everybody smash that like. Val Venus says, always have my... always have my doink out when I meet people. I never heard the word doink before. I just learned a new thing. Doink is such like doink. It's a really onomatopoeic word, right? You know, like a word that sounds like what it is. Like splash. Boom. Doink. What are you gonna say? You're gonna say doink. Doink. You're gonna say doink. You're gonna say doink. What you gonna say? Yeah, that's right. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. You're gonna say doink. You're gonna say doink. You're gonna say doink. You're gonna say doink. Anyway, yeah, it's been a bit of a trying day, to be honest. I mean, that happened, right? That happened. A psychopath in the building, said he was going to murder my wife. Yeah, so we're having to regulate those vibes. That's a difficult one to regulate when you've got mentally ill lunatic people who happen to be in your building because California passes some law that says, like, if you have a building that's got so many flats in it, you have to have at least 2 of them for, like, mental people or something like that. I don't know. You know, so you get a couple mental people in your building, and then they start getting real mental, and then they threaten to murder your wife, you know. And the natural response to that is to murder them, right? I mean, that's the obvious thing. But, like, you can't because they're a protected species, and also you're an immigrant, and you could get booted out of the country if you cause any kind of problems. So you have to do everything in a kind of above-board and legal fashion, but it's like... Oh, man, you know, you have to do a lot of good saying in those kind of situations, you know? You have to do a lot of good. Good. Yeah, Val Venus says, Suge Knight. Why? I know, Val Venus says, F Suge Knight. That's right, exactly. Really, what I should have done is, rather than making an enemy of Suge Knight, and if you don't know about that, we spoke about that before. I wonder which one that was. You want to be able to reference people. You want to be able to go, listen back to number 36, where I tell the story about Suge Knight threatening to kill me. But I should have befriended Suge Knight, you know? He'd be a good guy to have as your friend. Just so that you could say, my friend Suge Knight, if anyone ever tries anything, you know? Because Suge Knight will straight run over a guy. You know, he'll straight back up his truck over you. And he'll do it in front of everybody. He doesn't care. That's what he's in jail for at the moment. He's in jail for backing up his car over some guy at the, I think it's the Warner lot, where they were filming Straight Outta Compton. Like, what the heck? That's a special kind of mental. That's a special kind of savage. You know what I mean? You'll just straight up back up your truck over a guy because you don't like him. Amazing. Anyway, we're gonna do a dreamy set today, baby. We did a dreamy one the other day, and it's like, oh, I like this vibe. This is a tunnel I want to go down. You know, my great grandfather, my grandfather, my Brummy grandfather, was a miner. You know. And he used to go down tunnels for real. He'd go down there and he'd get all dirty, you know, and he'd dig. You know, he'd do that all goddamn day. You know, I go down these holes and I go looking for rare jewels of sound, you know, and journeys of sound, journeys into the unknown sometimes. Sometimes it's good to go deep into the unknown. So today we're going to take a voyage into the dreamy unknown, and we'll see what we find, you know? Yeah. Smash that like. Here's a song from the old country. This is a song that explains a concept I was talking about recently called HIRAETH. Alright, HIRAETH. It's a Welsh word. You don't have it in English, but it's useful, so you should learn it.
The word HIRAETH has no equivalent in English. People bring their own experience to their understanding of it. In a book called HIRAETH, we've got HIRAETH for the Welsh language, HIRAETH for the dead, HIRAETH for the mythic and legendary past, HIRAETH for a heroic or golden age, HIRAETH for youth, HIRAETH without hope.
Well, that's a whole world, as it were, fashioned out of HIRAETH. And that is so all-embracing, all-surrounding. It gives you a sense, I think, of how powerful that emotion can be when it's felt.
Oh, oh.
separation from something or someone you love, who you've left behind or who've been taken away, or which you've simply outgrown. It's the loss of home.
HIRAETH by Akira The Don. That came out the same week as Be a Plumber. You know, interesting. And HIRAETH, that's a Welsh word for, it kind of means a kind of homesickness or nostalgia, an earnest longing or desire tinged with a sense of regret. You know, it's kind of like it's a sort of real visceral longing for a place you once knew well that no longer exists. You know, and of course it doesn't exist because nothing exists outside of the moment. You see, and once you're outside of that moment, well, you're in a whole new moment, baby. You know, and so that's the thing. You know, HIRAETH is a strange thing, and it's a real thing. You know, and it's a thing to watch out for, and it's something that you kind of got to use it like the shadow. You know what I mean? You got to integrate your HIRAETH. People, particularly like nowadays, there's a lot of people kind of wallowing in that kind of weaponized nostalgia. You know, people out there weaponizing people's nostalgia against them, and people wallow in that thing, and they're just like longing for this. Oh, when I was young playing the SNES, you know, oh, and I was there, and my little brother was there, and it was all wonderful and perfect, and da-da-da, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't. And you ain't never getting that back, baby. You know, you just gotta integrate the usefulness of those moments and those times, you know, and use them now. You know, not consider them something that's apart from you, that's gone forever, because there's aspects of them which are immortal and always there, you know. I was like thinking about it the way that Kurt Vonnegut talks about time. He talks about time in, was it Sirens of Titan? Great book. And he talks about it like a stack of Polaroids. Like each moment is a Polaroid, and they all exist. They're all there. And currently the way we navigate time is like beads on a string, and that's the way we think of it and see it. But in a way, it's just Polaroids, and they're all there, and they always will be, and they always have been, you know. So in a way, you could access things from those and use that. At whatever point you happen to be at, you know, you always can. But you know, don't mourn something, because it's not dead. You know, it's immortal. It always was, it always is, and it always will be. You know, but you should be focusing on where you're at. Ooh, vibes. Pulling in a bunch of records to the library. What up, Rob Anderson? Thank you for the super chat. Rob Anderson says, Welsh accent every set from now on, please. Yeah, quite. Yeah, exactly. We just have like Welsh story time. We just tell stories of back in the day. Back in the day. My homie Damien Cook hit me up. He was my best. You know when you're a kid, I don't know, sometimes you have like different best friends. You have a different one every 6 months sometimes, you know what I mean? One of my best friends for like 6 months was this lad called Damien Cook. All right, Damien. He was a bit, everyone called him Ginge, because guess why? Because he had ginger hair, yeah, so they called him Ginge. Kids are mad creative, yeah, they are so creative, kids are. And they called him Ginge. And he was very tall, and he played the saxophone. And, I'll tell you another story about him one day, but like, me and him used to go roller booting. I got really into roller booting. I lived in this place called Penmon by the sea, and it was like a big hill, and it just went down. It just went just jutted down into the sea, and at the bottom there was a bit of a cliff, and then it was the ocean, you know. So I would throw myself down this hill on these roller boots, and they were cheap ones, so they didn't have a brake, you know. They were just roller boots, and at the bottom, you'd have to swerve and throw yourself into a bush so as not to go over the cliff into the ocean. And one time, I went over the cliff into the ocean in my roller boots. And it was epic! I remember the feeling. I was so full of joy and alive. Hey! I thought, woo, I wonder if I will die. I wonder if I will die, I thought, in slow motion. But I was quite pleased about the whole thing, really. I was like, well, if I do, this is a pretty cool way to go on roller skates, going off a cliff. Woof. Yeah. You know, you could get HIRAETH about those sorts of days. Oh, never again. But no. This is the peak of recorded human civilization here today. Here today is the place to be, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. God gave us this day, and this is the day he has made, so we shall enjoy it. We shall take it, and we shall do what we can with it, whatever is going on with it. We shall do our best. What else is there to do? God damn. Ooh. Hey, hey. We have a custom. We haven't done the custom yet, have we? God damn it! It's the Intergalactic High Five. The Intergalactic International High Five. So I want to know where you are and what's your fondest memory of your childhood. Where are you and what's your fondest memory of your childhood, baby? Tell me now. Tell me the answer. Tell me the truth. The truth, just the first thing that pops into mind. Maybe you punched your dad in the nuts and it was amusing. I'm sure that's what Hercules would say. Maybe you had a particularly nice biscuit. They call them, that's English for cookie. They call biscuits cookies over here. And biscuits are something else entirely. I don't fully understand it yet. I've been here 5 years and I still don't know what the Americans mean by biscuit. I think it's also a gun, isn't it? Ooh. Digital Rhino in New Orleans says swinging on the swing in my front yard. Oh, nice. Roman says HIRAETH Ukraine 2008. Eileen says Australia, chilling with my cousin. Grey Flower, says this is so cool. Yes. Nick Twaddle, the guy, Burbank, skating with the homies, taking the bus to skate parks nearby. You see that thing where they filled those skate parks with sand so the kids just rode dirt bikes on it instead? Epic. John Hannibal Smith, Idaho, watching my first James Bond film, GoldenEye, with my dad. I felt that one deep there. There, what's there? I felt like a little stabbing pain right there in Alan Watts' right leg. When you said that, when I read you saying that, oof, I felt that. You know that thing when people do that, when he said such and such, I felt that. That just happened. I felt that. I'm going to put that beat on again because Val Venus likes it. This is one of my beats. It's called VHS Anime Lo-Fi because that's how it made me feel. They wouldn't let me do that now. Sons of bitches. Yeah. Hello. Oh, what? Vim Fuego in Australia remembers getting a Grifter XL push bike for Christmas. Oh, man. Violet Alice Evans in Michigan remembers swimming with friends in 8th grade. What's 8th grade? How old is that? Is that 8? No, that wouldn't be, because... Is that like 13? I don't know. Val Venus, New York, baby. I remember the first time my hips swung in a full circle. I was 4 minutes old. We do not deserve you, Val Venus. Joshua Tran remembers a breakfast pastry, fluffy and light. DS Duenas in Tacoma crashed a motor scooter going downhill, no filter. Abdonish. Oh, also, yes, skateboarding. Yeah. Andrew Kamarumi, Toronto, my parents singing to me, talking about the birds and the bees. Ooh. Oh. Axel Stacks, Charleston, playing outside with kids from my neighborhood. Don't happen anymore, does it? Oh my goodness. Enjoyable madness in Illinois, digging holes and climbing trees. Yeah! Digging holes and climbing trees. I'm sure I put that in a rap song once. That's what it's all about. Digging holes and climbing trees. Yeah. Bloody knees. And stung by bees. You ever get stung by bees? Oh my goodness. One time I was at a party and my mate Gwilym used to have these parties, yeah, because he had a big house, yeah, so you could have a party, yeah. So we all went around Gwil's house for a party, yeah, and we had to go outside. And we didn't have to, but we did. We went outside there and we played a game called Manhunt. Have you ever played that game? It's like you have to hunt the man, which is you or something, yeah. And you go in little teams. And I was with Richard Halliday, and we called him Fraggle sometimes. He had a bit of a Fraggle vibe to him, you know, Fraggle. And we go in the woods and we're hiding, and suddenly he starts fucking screaming, you know. And I barely remember this. I remember the way Gwilym tells it as the story, and he's like, you know, so we were all like, we'd almost finished playing Manhunt. We'd given up on Akira and Fraggle. Yeah, they didn't call me Akira then. What did they call me then? Probably Adam. Oh, Adam and Fraggle, yeah? We're giving up looking for them. They'd all finished playing and they were eating some cake, you know? And then Halliday, boom, comes blasting out the, Fraggle Halliday comes blasting out the woods, screaming, ah! Just fucking screaming. And you see he's being he's just covered, he's like being followed by loads of bees. We disturbed a bee nest, or whatever you call them, a beehive, you know? We disturbed it. And then apparently I just come behind and I'm just sort of walking steadily, not saying everything. And I was like, oh, what are you fucking freaking out about Halliday? It's not a big deal. It's not a big fucking deal. And then they look at me, and they look at me closely, and I'm covered in bees. And I'm just walking, really like, lads, there's a bit of a bee problem. And I'm just fucking covered in them, swarming them all over my head and my hair and shit. But you know, I kept my shit together. Young stoic lord. I ain't gonna start screaming about no goddamn bees. I know that's gonna have an adverse reaction. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep my shit together and be chill. And work out how to deal with the bee situation in a calm and orderly manner. Cara Brennan in Brooklyn remembers running in the snow barefoot with 4 siblings to see who could stay the longest. Oh, so many beautiful memories. Juwan Monterey, Tennessee, skateboarding in the middle of the street of Miami. Cindy Bailey in Riverside remembers discovering music. Enjoyable madness in Illinois, digging holes and climbing trees. We said that. Rob Anderson in New Zealand, that sweet Roman legionary shield and gladius my dad made me out of wood. I had one of them. I had exactly one of them. Me and my little brother had one of them. We went to a party dressed up as little Roman gladiators like that. Back in the day. Isle of P&R, Kansas remembers swimming. Aberdonis remembers buying my first World Industries complete board and breaking it the next day. Good times. Jim York in Raleigh, just talking, hanging out with friends. Chaos 108 in Wales, getting Ocarina of Time for Christmas. Oh, shouts out to Wales. Grey Flower of Earth remembers climbing everything. It was so fun. Yeah. DS Drenner says, climbing trees is my life. Nice. Callie Smith says, Michigan, making potions out of flowers and berries. Yeah. That's how we used to get down. We used to do that sort of thing. Berries. I used to go around with like a little wicker basket collecting blackberries. You know, I used to do that. And I remember I was at school one time and I had a bunch of blackberries that I had collected, and I was sat at the lunch table and I was eating my blackberries. I didn't used to get school lunch because that shit was disgusting, you know. My mum would make me a sandwich, you know, and I'd have a piece of fruit. They were all there eating custard and shit, and I got my piece of fruit. But like, I had some blackberries. I'd got them from, I'd picked them from outside the back of the school. And the janitor comes over. We used to have these janitors, and in Wales you have to call them auntie. I don't know why, and I didn't like it because I didn't like these janitors. They were like these mean ladies, like mean bitter shrew type ladies, and they hated kids. I don't know why they always manage to find people who hate kids to work in schools, but they do. You know, an Auntie Janice. And she'd insist you called her auntie. You couldn't say Janice or even Miss or nothing. You have to go, Auntie Janice. And then Auntie Janice comes over. She goes, what are you eating there? I said, these are some blackberries. I got them from outside. They are delicious and fresh. And I picked them myself. And she smacked them out of my hand. Said, don't eat those. I said, why not? She said, worms have done wheeze all over them. And then everyone laughed at me. And they're like, you got worm wee on your blackberry. I said, what are you talking about, you retards? And then I got sent to the, the headmaster for getting in a fight with everybody. And that used to basically happen every day. Every day some stupid shit like that had happened, and then everyone would get in some issue with me, and then I would call them all retards, and they'd fight about 50 of them at once. You know what I mean? Fuck school. Oh my god. Anyway, international high five time. So we had some lovely memories there from people. We had some lovely memories. Thank you for sharing those lovely memories. Thank you for sharing those beautiful memories, guys. Let's do an international high five. Ooh, a 3, a 2, a 1. High five! We just high-fived. If you listen to this on a podcast, you're a bit confused. We did a high five. You should have done it too. Pay attention next time, and then you'll know. Yeah. Jaden, the four listener, Jaden just said Akira, an anime protagonist. LAO. It's so true. It's so true. I resonated so hard when I first started seeing anime. I was, that's me. That's my life. It's always like that. I think I really, gravitated towards Spider-Man comics. So I was like, that's my life. Yeah, that's true. It's just like that. You know what I mean? Except it took a while for my superpowers to kick in. It took a while, but I got them now. We got them superpowers now. We got the vibe regulation powers. That's what we've got. Yo, speaking of vibe regulation, shouts out to, who was it yesterday? Yesterday, we added some new products to the store. We added neck scarves, tube gaiters, neck scarves and tube gaiters, right? And you can see those. They're here. They're really cool. Look how cool they are, right? And, they're really cool. You can get them on the store right now. They're reversible. They wrap around your whole head, your whole face. Your whole above-the-shoulder situation, you'll get that covered. But we got bandanas too. But someone, I can't remember who it was, but whoever it was, I love you and you're great, pointed out that with a bandana, you kind of want the design to be diagonal. And none of the designs were diagonal. And I hadn't really thought about that. What I'd done was this, for the first time ever, I'd got someone else to do some designs for me, And they hadn't done them, and I just left it. I didn't think about it too hard. So it's like, it's basically the lesson is you got to think about everything hard. So I got rid of all them designs, and I stayed up until 4 a.m. making new ones to reflect. And look at these beautiful new designs I made that are diagonal. So you can, it's a bandana in it. So you fold it over. So you see the one here, you see this lovely bandana, you know what I mean? You'll fold that like that, and the boy will be hanging across the front of your face, wistfully looking up, and that would be dope. And on this one here, you see you'll have Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette just like hanging down over the front of your face. I spent ages getting these things done. Look at this one. You can have me on your face, or you could just like hang that off of the back of your bicycle. As you're riding through the hills. As you're rolling across the meadows, have your MEANINGWAVE bandana just floating in the breeze. You got this nice Alan Watts one. See this? See? So whoever it was, I should have looked it up in the chat logs, but someone told me to do this, so I did this. I told you I'd be nothing without you guys, or at least I'd be like, I would exist, but I wouldn't be as good. I wouldn't be as good. You guys make me better, and I pay attention to you. When you suggest things and that, I pay attention. I don't necessarily always write back immediately, but best believe I'm paying attention. Look, you can have a Peterson face on your face in form of bandana. This one I like very much. I've ordered all of these. This is the Neon Leopard. The MEANINGWAVE Neon Leopard. You can have a neon leopard on you, and you can hang it out your back pocket too. That's cool. If you're going into a gang sort of area, you know what I mean. You got to show your affiliation. What you want to do is show your affiliation to the wave with one of these hankies. It's a bandana or a hanky. It's got 2 names, which is pretty amazing. I got 2 names too. I got a bunch. I got more than that. I got a whole bunch of names. This one took me ages. This one's very detailed. But oh, this one's really nice. Like the Trapping in the Dungeon one. Very nice. So yeah, that was all based on your feedback. Completely redid all those designs. Stayed up all goddamn night. And yeah, and I'm glad I did. So if you want to cop some of those, you can hit the link in the bio and you can go over to meaningwave.com. you know, and you can cop yourself some rags, some epic rags. That's what you can do. And who was it? Is he here? One of our friends tried to take advantage. One of you buggers tried to take advantage. Because when the bandanas first went up, for whatever reason, they were all listed as $0. Zero! And someone who I'm not going to mention, I'm not going to shame him, Greg A. The Dawn. I won't say his name, Greg A. The Dawn. Ordered 30. And it's like, yeah, well, nice try. You know, nice try, Greg A. The Dawn, ordering 30. Yo. What up, Callie Smith? Says, rest in peace for Kurt Vonnegut. Much love. Kurt Vonnegut, the greatest, man. Kurt Vonnegut, one of the greatest ever to do it, you know. And what he did was very specific. You know, he wrote humanist fiction, is what he did. And that humanist fiction was more real than reality. You know, and he told beautiful, beautiful stories about the true nature of us. And the best us and the worst us, you know. He was truly a poet. Truly an epic being. And I'm super glad I got to live in the same world as he did. You know? I think that's I think that's a miracle. All right, we're almost ready to go in with this set. I'm going to play a song while I work out what song I'm going to play first and make sure I've got a bunch of new records in. They've actually come in. It'd be good if they actually came in. What should we play in the meanwhile? Let's play a song while I'm working that stuff out. Hey, I know what we'll do. What's a good song to play? Oh, I know what's a good song. If I can find it. Ooh, yeah. The laughing heart. There you go. This is beautiful. This is one of the best.
Laughing heart. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Be on the watch. There are ways out. There is light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them and take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life. Sometimes the more often you learn to do it, more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you. That's a beauty.
Not much chance. Completely cut loose from purpose. He was a young man riding a bus through North Carolina. On the way to somewhere, and it began to snow. And the bus stopped at a little cafe.
Yeah. Tom Waits. Reading Nirvana by Charles Bukowski. That's from that Waitswave EP. Waitswave, like, little thing I did. The first one was The Laughing Heart. That was also Bukowski. So we basically had Tom Waits reading Bukowski. What a concept. What an ill thing to do that was. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad that exists. And I'm glad I get to play it for you guys. Vibes, indeed. Vibes, indeed. Valvina says, I'm going to get the same neck tat as Akira. No cap. You could actually go to the place I got it done, because I got it done in New York. I got it done on the Lower East Side. The Lower East Side back in 2005. I got that shit done to celebrate finishing recording my album at the time. And the reason I got this was because I was listening to The Future by Leonard Cohen a lot, you know. I was listening to that record a lot. It felt like it was talking about right now, back then in 2005. And that was the last time the energy felt like it does now. So that's interesting. That's the last time the energy felt like really like it does now. And that was the beginning. Where we're at now culturally, we're like at the end of the nihilistic thing, and at the top where we're just plunging down into craziness again, into sort of sci-fi, acid, psychedelic world, you know. And that was 2005. Was like that was that way also. That was 2005 too, you know. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's the vibes. So that's a useful vibe for right now. Make of that what you will, and do with that what you will, you know. Enjoyable Madness says you should do a DJ 101 video. Should I? I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of DJ 101 videos. If you want to watch a DJ 101 video, there's a lot of people who are very good at that. Shouts out to Mojax. Shouts out to my boy Mojax. Shouts out to Digital DJ Tips, Ian Golden. Shouts out to Phil, wherever, you know, he's the British guy with. You know, he talks about he used to DJ in Ibiza, and he DJs in Spain. You know, I love those guys. There's guys who do that shit really well. I mean, I guess I could show you how I do it, you know. But the most important thing is how you do it, you know, and how you work it out. But, you know, we'll see if people want things. We'll make those things happen. We're here for you. It's time to regulate the vibes, baby. It's time for that dreamy DJ set, I promise you. I mean, we've had a dreamy show anyway, right? This all feels like a dream, a beautiful dream. You and me here together at the peak of recorded human history. You know? I gotta say shouts out to my boy Lonely Cow Productions. He's listening from Kara's account. Endless thanks and gratitude for the endless inspiration. Yo, I love those guys. I love those guys. They're such wonderful guys. Lonely Cow Productions and Kara. You know, they're just bad motherfuckers out there. There's certain people, I only see them on Instagram, and they're really cool. I don't know if you heard the podcast I did with Strong Camps and Primal Movers. I linked it from the community tab. I really recommend that one. It was a really dope conversation, and I really love those guys. And it's funny that you can like love people that you've never met IRL, and you just kind of know them from Instagram, but like you feel a connection with them somehow. You know, somehow you're in the same caress. That's what Charles Bukowski used to call it, a caress. That's like your family. That's not your blood family. That's your family across the world, and maybe you never meet them. Maybe you do. You know, but somehow you're working together. And you might not ever actually be in the same room, but you're working together somehow across space and time sometimes. Sometimes it's not even in the same time. Sometimes it's across times, you know. But I feel certain people are definitely in my caress, and you guys are all in my caress, you know. So shouts out to you. Regulators! Thanks to everyone who's a member of this channel. You guys are the best. If you want to become a member of the channel, I think you probably should. Everyone's a member. Well, not everyone, but lots of your peers are members, and it's definitely a cool thing to be. You get to use all the cool emojis. Make some noise with the purple wave emojis if you got them. Drop those purple wave emojis. Let's get it cracking, because it's a purple wave emoji kind of a vibe tonight. Regulators. Hey, Captain Starbucks in the chat. Yeah. What up, baby? Oh, my goodness. That was epic. Yo! Once again, we regulate the vibes in the Man of the Donny weekend. Yes, we do. And you got to see a little bit of my aesthetic window. Yeah, how you feeling, baby? How was that? That was some dreamy shit, right? That was like running down a dream. You know, that was running down that beautiful golden dawn highway type situation, that neon highway to glory. Right in that dream to, you know, to the best part of the dream. And bringing in Tom Petty at the end. Shouts out to my guy Tom Petty. Bringing in some Tom Petty on top of that Dreamers. Do you know what that last song was called? You know what that last song was called? The last song was called Memory Lane by Dreamers Avenue. How about that for perfection? I ain't never heard that record before. I pulled in a whole bunch of records of a certain kind of flavor, and I was just like playing with them then, you know what I mean? And after we were talking about what we've been talking about, dreams, and then we were talking about HIRAETH, you know, the notion of HIRAETH, that kind of nostalgia, you know, and the purpose of dreams and memories and the purpose of nostalgia, perhaps. And we finish it with a song called Memory Lane by Dreamers Avenue, and then we mix in some Tom Petty on the top of that, and then a little splash of all them ducks what be swimming in the water. And that was very cool. That was very joyful. You know, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad we did that together, you and I. So, yeah, nice. Thanks to everyone that's been locked in. Thank you to everyone that's been locked in and supplying the energy. You know, the requisite energy. Energy is requisite. Requisite and exquisite. I gotta thank everyone who's been supporting. You are the real MVPs, and you keep this operation operating. You know, without you, you know, I would be occupying myself otherwise. God damn it, you are important and you are appreciated. Prince, Jabrikas XV, appreciate you. Rob Anderson, appreciate you. Callie Smith. Did someone say Callie Smith been designing emojis in the Discord? I'll have a look. A little later. I haven't looked at the Discord for a few days. I'll pop in and I'll see what's going on. You know, I'm always a little like trepidatious before I go in the Discord. You know, you're like, ooh, what's going on if we look in here today? What's going on? Okay. You know, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you've been up to. I don't know what you've done with the place. Vim Fuego, thank you, Vim Fuego, says, shouts out to Ivan in Melbourne. Or Ivan. Probably Ivan. Could be Ivan. Ivan's Welsh. Ivan. And if it's terrible, it's Ivan. So shouts out to Ivan in Melbourne. And shouts out to Ivan in Melbourne, if that's who it is. Ooh. Yeah. Shouts out to Oddman Gaming. Bless up, Oddman Gaming. Was here at 7:33 exactly. That's auspicious. Humansplaining. Shouts out to Humansplaining. Said, there is no doubt this music gets all the clout.
He's got clout.
There is no doubt, and that's a lovely rhyme. We do like a lovely rhyme here at Meaning HQ. John Carnes, welcome to the wave. Welcome, John Carnes. John Carnes, are you related to Kim? Are you related to Kim Carnes? Because that's my favorite female singer of all time. It's Kim Carnes. What an amazing voice. And yeah, so shouts out to you. Welcome to the wave. Shouts out to all the members of the wave, all the members out there in the world. God bless you all. And you know, you are rewarded every day with a mix that you can download. You are rewarded with a cornucopia of fly emojis, a veritable bouquet and banquet of fly emojis that you can utilize at will. You get to download the albums and the singles as they come out and things of that nature. And the big boy ones get their names in the album videos, you know. And we've got that Alonewolf album coming soon. So if you want your name in the credits of that, it will be on the video for all time and will be in the descriptions and things. Then yeah, you can get that by being a member of the channel. Yes, you can. Hey, Oddman Gaming just came back, dropping snow emojis. Yo, auspicious as heck. Shouts out to you, Oddman Gaming. Yeah, shouts out to everyone who's hearing that. I hope you enjoyed that set. I enjoyed doing it. It was super fun and super... Yeah, it was fun. What up, Damien Kingston says, what time is it there? It's 7:51. You know, you just saw sundown. You just saw the sun go down. Now you can't see. Can you see my palm tree? God, let's get this camera straight. Can you see my aesthetic ass palm tree? Like it's very. If I had a better camera, you'd be able to see. I can see mountains and shit over there. There's mountains, you know, palm trees and mountains. What a time! What a beautiful situation to be in. You know, when you look out the window and you see a palm tree. What up, Chef Ken? Our friend Chef Ken says 45 days of magic. Yeah, 45 days. Imagine that. Our Sivan says, yep, thanks my husband is Ivan, or Ivan. Hey, nice. Shouts out to you and shouts out to your husband. What a beautiful family situation we got going on here. Great Flower says, window is legit good view. Waves from the mountains. Are you up in the mountains? Are you over there? Hi. I had an email from someone I haven't, like, old friend of mine I haven't seen for like 20 years. And she'd be living up in those mountains too. You know, with her husband and her baby. They'd be living up in those mountains. And last time I saw her, I was in London. You know. I wonder who else is up in those mountains that I know. Leanne says, stream number 45. What a time to be alive. Hey, that rhymed. What a time to be alive indeed. How's it darker in California than Idaho, says John Cannibal Smith? I don't know. I don't control the simulation. I don't control this, you know, this Jim Carrey-ass existence. This, you know, this TV show. What an epic show it is, by the way. What a wonderful show. What a wonderful show. Damien Kingston says, what's the story behind He's Got Clout? What's the story? I mean, you know the vibes. What do we know about Akira the Don?
He's got clout.
Yeah, I mean, it's just facts. I'm not one to argue with reality, even if I do not fully understand it, you know? I don't understand it, but I'm not gonna argue with something I don't understand. You know what I mean? When you see this, people might think you're like a fool from afar when they see you arguing with that with which you do not understand, you know? People might think I'm a fool from afar. I don't want that. I don't need that kind of aggravation. Hell no. Who's in Japan? Someone just said greetings from Japan. What up, Japan? Shouts out to Japan. It was really my plan. My plan this year was to be in Japan. Did you know that? That was my plan. My plan this year was to be in Japan. And this year ain't over yet, so maybe it will still happen. But I felt it appropriate, you know? In Akira, the manga and anime, you know, that shit is like set. And in now, you know what I mean? 2019, 2020. 2020 is the Olympic Games in Neo Tokyo. I always thought that shit, I should be there, you know? I was in London when the Olympic Games was in London in 2012. I figured it was only right that I should be in Neo Tokyo in 2020, but who knows? I mean, the world has conspired such as it is that one can't maneuver anywhere right now. You know, you got to deal the cards you've been handed. You know what I mean? You've got to regulate those vibes. We're applying for a new visa, you know? Don't know how long that's going to take. We might get stuck in the country. It might take a year and we wouldn't be able to move anywhere. I don't know what's going on. That's what's so ill, you know what I mean? You walk around thinking you know what's going on in life. You're wrong. You don't. You know what I mean? If you ever thought you knew what was going on, you were wrong. You didn't. But a lot of us did wander around thinking we knew what was going on in life, and then the past 45 days have proved us wrong. You don't know shit, and no one else knows shit. Look around you. They don't know shit. Your so-called sense makers don't know shit. Even the so-called sense-making sense makers don't know shit. Your news stations don't know shit. Your politicians don't know shit. Your governors don't know shit. Your mama don't know shit, and your papa don't know shit, and you sure as shit don't know shit. Shit. All I know is that I don't know shit. You know? And that's a beautiful thing to know. That's a beautiful realization. That's freedom. You know what I mean? That's freedom, baby. Hey, Lorcan McSharp says not gonna go green card. Yeah, that takes a long time, you know. That's the next thing, you know. So we gotta get another 01. That's the Alien of Extraordinary Ability visa, which makes sense right now. These are alien moments, and then we want to do that get that green card, and then get that citizenship, baby. I want to be a citizen of this fine nation. You know what I mean? I want to be an official, like a referee's whistle. You know what I mean? But you know, that's an expensive endeavor. And, you know, it requires a lot of proof of clout. And so it's a good job that one thing we know about is that, so, you know, we're probably going to be, I think we'll be cool. But yeah, it's very expensive. It's like 20 G's, you know. Just the 01 is like 10 G's, you know what I mean? You just got to be banging them G's around. Whoop, whoop, whoop. G's everywhere. Uppercase G's. Yeah. Abadonish says, I think you got that in the bag then, Chief. Yo, I appreciate your I appreciate your, what would I say? Clouds? I appreciate that. What up, Lorcan McSharp says, hell yeah, baby, we know the struggle. Yeah, Lorcan McSharp is an interloper too. You know, Lorcan McSharp be out there interloping. Lorcan McSharp did me a cool visual, by the way. I saw it, I got time to check that earlier. Lorcan McSharp, he did a cool visual. It is very cool. It's very cool. He visualized one of the synthwave mixes. He put together something righteous for that, and I dig it very much. So yeah, I'll hit you up later. Yeah. Mucho Vibo Regulator Orioro. Hey, okay, is everybody okay? Is everybody cool out there? Is everybody groovy? Yeah? Where's Hercules? See if Hercules is around to say bye for us. You know, I've got to get out of here and get back on the... I've got an awful great deal of things to do. Got to get this... the final, you know, the Alan Watts album is done, so now it's like rendering out the master and putting the artwork and everything together and sussing out like how it's going to be delivered to the people. You know, sussing out how the people are going to get that vinyl. How you doing, Herky? What's cracking? What's that? Yeah, so what day is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Oh, man, it'd be really good if we could announce it all tomorrow, huh? See what we can do. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of here and go sort all that stuff out, you know? So, shouts out to everyone who's been logged in. I appreciate the heck out of all of you. You're very beautiful. You're a very, very beautiful audience. I look down at the scrolling comments. I see all your beautiful words and all your beautiful emojis, and it fills me with joy and wonder, you know? Fills me with joy and wonder. Yes, it does. So, yeah, thanks to everyone who's been locked in. Thank you to everyone who's supporting during that. If you want to support the wave, as always, you can become a member of the channel. And that has all sorts of benefits. You know, your name gets to be green. You get emojis. You get to download epic mixes every goddamn day. Every day, you know? You could always go over to the store and cop some ill new merch. We've got ill new merch. We've got tube scarves, aka net gaiters. They're very, very fly and futuristic and double-sided as well. And we've got really good bandanas designed. I was up all night designing these mofos. Look, you see, and they're beautiful bandanas, beautiful rags, beautiful chiefs, neckerchiefs. You could use them in a picnic, you know? If you're allowed back outside your house soon to go and have a picnic, if you're in Texas people are getting let out earlier because, you know, Texans don't put up with bullshit, you know what I mean? Texans don't fuck around. You know what I mean? Texans ain't gonna put up with stuff for very long. So they're letting the Texans out, and the Texans can go and get some goddamn picnic action going on with their MEANINGWAVE handkerchief, you know? They put it over their face. So, you know, if you're in a club, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're in a club and, like, rappers try and rap at you. Have you ever had that? I get it all the time. Rappers just always try and rap at me in clubs. You know what I mean? So you want to have your handkerchief on, and you want to put that up over your face. So when that rapper is all up in your face rapping, or one of these will work the same as well. Just pull that shit up, you know what I mean? And then the little flecks of rap spit that pop out of their face does not get on your face. You know what I mean? It's very sophisticated. We also got these antimicrobial face masks. You're going to be needing these for a while, unfortunately. Well, whatever. I won't say unfortunately, because you just got to say, you know what you got to say. You got to say
good. You got to say good.
You know, whatever, fuck it, vibes. You get to dress like Drain Gang last year. You get to look like Young Lean and his fellows, you know, and that's good. But you should go get some of those as well, you know. Or one thing you could do if you want to support the wave is be the best version of yourself possible. That's always very helpful. And we appreciate that very much. You know, anytime you think you could say something horrible to someone and you don't, you know, that's a blessing. You know, that's a blessing and a lesson, and that's one more rung on the ladder of your immortal soul. Because what you're doing in this life is building that immortal soul, you know what I mean? And you do that one good deed at a time and one not bad deed at a time. One kindness at a time. One small, beautiful thing at a time. You know what I mean? Because we're all just small, beautiful things. Hercules! Here comes Hercules. Take this opportunity, say a little prayer. Say a little prayer. I would like to say, whoever invented the synthesizer, you're great. And of course, you know, thank you to the almighty intergalactic ocean that funneled that wisdom into that particular being at that particular time. Because that whole set that I just did, which was truly beautiful, And it was really beautiful doing it, and I kind of got a little bit out of body at some places, and that's a magical thing to get to do. And like that wouldn't have been possible if the guy hadn't invented the synthesizer, you know. So I'm going to say grateful for the synthesizer, and grateful for this beautiful son of mine. Come here, you. He's popping his little head around the corner, pulling funny faces. Come here, Hercules. Come here, you. Who said the synth is great? The synth is great, Roman. Roman, you're right. The synth is great. I think you said the synth is God. I think you said the synth is God, and you're right, the synth is God. What up, Damien Kingston says 91 watching. Those are rookie numbers. We've got to pump those up, guys. That's the only way it happens is you guys. That is the only thing. We don't have any marketing machine. We just got you know. So you telling your friends that's how this thing gets pumped. You smashing that like, it's how it gets pumped. You know, you are the pumpers. And, you know, I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Ain't nowhere else I'd rather be than right here with you at the peak of recorded human civilization. Regulating the vibes every night at 6 p.m. PST. Come on, Hercules, let's get this thing done, baby. We need you. Hang on, say hi. Say hi to people, greet them, and then you can say bye 5. Wait a minute, here you go. Say hi, say how you doing, brother.
High five.
What are you here for?
Bye five.
What is that? Explain to people in case they don't know what it is.
Of course they know.
Oh, they don't. Not everyone here has been here before. There's always new people. Hold the mic close to your mouth.
Okay. Well, bye five is basically the international high five. International high five, but bye five. So you can see a little taste of that right now. 5, 4,